Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of 7 minute marketing updates from your two favorite cybersecurity marketers, Maria and Gianna. With me today, of course, is my super awesome and only co host.
Yeah, considering that I'm your only co-host, I also better be your favorite co-host.
And we are back from all the fun at RSA this year. And yes, we know you missed us very much because you couldn't survive not hearing all about the happenings in marketing with 7 minutes with us.
And that's a record I'm sure no one has ever beaten. And so far, we are the self-appointed winners of this non-existent record because we've made it the marketing news. We've done this show twice, and each time so far, we've managed to make it just 7 minutes or less.
We'll see
And will we make it this time? We're gonna find out.
We'll see what happens. Well, we all enjoyed RSA so much. If you want to hear of that breakdown, be sure to be on the lookout on our podcast, Breaking Through in Cybersecurity Marketing, for, 20 seconds or more on that.
Nice. All right. So, also, just a little note before this show starts, be sure to look out for the links to the stories we are going to cover in the comments below or in the comment section to the side because you're on LinkedIn.
All right, so let's get into the news. In RSA news, I think that's the theme this today, right, Gianna?
Hmm.
Marketers around the world are relieved that it's over, and my feet are certainly, definitely happy too. But according to the recent RSA conference press release, this year's event attracted 40,000 attendees, a whopping 40,000 attendees, including 650 plus speakers, 500 more than 500 exhibitors, and more than 500 members of the media. Word hasn't come out yet about how many of those were actual full conference pass holders versus exhibitors and media, but we're expecting this year to beat 2022's number of 6,048 full pass holders. And from the trade show floor, a recent blog from Jupiter One confirmed that Zero Trust is still a thing. Go ahead and put that back on your homepage, everyone. In booth presentations are totally in.
So hot.
AI isn't quite ready for that spotlight, so close that Chat GPT tab on your Chrome browsers. Mascots are freaking awesome. We saw an alien and a couple of other ones.
Oh, and Data Dome's robot was walking around.
That's
Yes,
right.
we saw lots of mascots.
That's right. And the wizard is in. Everyone is talking about Wiz's crazy cool booth, all about the Wizard of Oz. That was really awesome. And of course, the usual RSA parties are totally back. But now, forget about that. It's time to start planning for Black Hat. Now, on the business news, the US Central Bank has raised interest rates to the highest level in 16 years as it battles to stabilize prices. 0.25 percentage point increase by the Federal Reserve marked its 10th hike in 14 months. The Fed did signal that Wednesday's rise may be the last for now. Hopefully. The moves have pushed its benchmark rate to between 5 and 5.25%, up from near zero in March 2022. Central banks around the world, including those in the UK and Europe, took similar actions. Home purchases, business expansions, and other debts become more expensive at higher interest rates. By increasing those costs, officials expect demand to fall and prices to cool off.
In other cybersecurity business news, cybersecurity firm Bishop Fox has laid off 13% of its workforce. According to TechCrunch, and I quote, about 50 employees or 13% of Bishop Fox's workforce were laid off on Tuesday. After questions about the company laying off employees just after their attendance at RSA conference, Bishop Fox spokesperson Kevin Kosh said in an email that the company had an event space at RSA reserved many months in advance and was primarily secured for the purposes of the day-long live stream, similar to the one we did for DEF CON, which was a forum to engage and share knowledge with the larger community. The reception followed that for the participants, the team, industry friends, and RSA attendees. Koch confirmed that the company had about 400 employees before yesterday's layoff, but declined to disclose how much it spent on the RSA party. And now I unquote from that article. So, as marketers, we understand this. Everyone knows that RSA contracts are locked down tight, and that if you're holding and planning a large ancillary event around RSA, it is planned months and months and months in advance. Usually, you might involve partners. And also, as marketers, we also understand that parties and other brand and engagement strategies can drive revenue. So, was a big party at RSA a good use of Bishop Fox's money? We can't know that. We can't know that as third parties, but it very well could have been. A conversation around are we overspending on conferences and events and things like that is totally valid. But this article did not really hit on that. It was simply a bit of a dive or a dig at Bishop Fox's specific RSA conference party that they had. And one more thing I want to add, just because you're reorganizing doesn't mean that you should cancel all of your marketing activities, given what we just said before, that marketing exists to drive revenue. And that's all we have to say about that. In other tech marketing news, the top US data privacy regulator has accused Meta, the firm that owns Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp, by the way, of not putting proper parental controls in place. The FTC said Meta should not be able to profit from children's data. And as a result of the company's recklessness, young users have been put at risk, and it must answer for its failures, according to the commission. Meta responded with a very interesting tone, blasting the regulator's move, calling it a political stunt, overstepping its authority. During an independent investigation, the FTC said they also found that Facebook's privacy program had several flaws and gaps, posing a substantial risk to the public.
Well, on that, there is a bipartisan bill that's being considered that would ban 13-year-old or under children under 13 from social media. The concerns over the protection of children using social media continues. And this legislation is aiming to protect children from harmful effects posed by social media. It is called the Protecting Kids on Social Media Act, and it would set the minimum age at 13 to use social media apps such as Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and would definitely require parental consent for the 13 to 17-year-olds.
In other security-ish and data privacy news, ChatGPT had a data breach. When ChatGPT and similar chatbots first became widely available, the concern in the cyber world was how AI technology could be used to launch cyber attacks. And it did not take long until threat actors figured out how to bypass the safety checks to use ChatGPT to write malicious code, however effective that code might be. And it seems now that the tables have turned. Instead of attackers using ChatGPT to cause cyber incidents, they have decided to attack the technology itself. OpenAI, that is the developer of the chatbot ChatGPT, they confirmed a data breach in the system that was caused by a vulnerability in the code's open source library, according to Security Week. The breach took the service offline until it was fixed.
And now for more appetizing and funny news. If you're ever hungry at the museum, you can just eat the artwork. Maurizio Catalan's art, which was a banana taped on the wall as part of one of his art installations, was eaten by a hungry student. He just ripped off the banana from the wall, munching it in front of shocked onlookers during his visit to the museum. He then taped back the peel, at least. That's very nice of him. Didn't throw it on the floor, replacing it with, and then later replacing it with fresh bananas. The student, this is a quote from a museum spokesperson. The student told the museum he ate it because he was hungry. Makes sense. It happened so suddenly, so no special action was taken. The artist was informed and about the incident, and no reaction. I mean, art so good, you can eat it.
That was very good. All right. Well, this is a wrap. And I'm sad to say that for the very first time, we did not hit our 7-minute mark. We did 9 minutes and 50 something seconds. So
Terrible.
this was a 10-minute segment.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Terrible job.
I know. We're going to be fired from the news
See you
network.
all next time.
See you next time. Do, 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 do. There's no music.
Oh, music.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.